that they can basically put one anywhere if they can put one here. So I have to pretty strongly consider that. Here as allies in your attempts to fight this from your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We will end public comment on this agenda item and open it up for discussion among the board.
Everybody's looking at me, so I'll start.
Just out of respect for being in your precinct.
You know, a precinct is a precinct line. This deals with the entire county.
I agree.
And we talk about authority up here. Let me assure you, this county has had the same authority, and all counties across the state has had the same authority for years and years and years. Nothing has changed. I've said this before, and I'll speak for the Commissioner's Court. We don't like this any more than you do. But I can assure you, we have laws that we must follow. Not that we may follow, that we must follow. They are very specific. The state, which we are an arm of, has given us a box to work within. We must work within that box. We cannot go outside that. We can ask for more authority, which we have done, which the counties have done for years and years. The state is not doing this. TCEQ is a state agency. They have Representative Peterman has oversight on TCEQ. Senator Campbell has oversight on TCEQ. We're asking TCEQ to do their job. We're asking Representative Peterman and Senator Campbell to go forward and look at TCEQ and strengthen those regulations or rules that they have to follow. And that's what we're doing. Talk about the aquifer and the recharge zone. There's many quarries over the aquifers and over the recharge zone. But I think what we need to remember is we have laws that we have to follow, and that's what we're going to do. We have to remember what the responsibility of this county is so we don't get in legal trouble ourselves. Thank you.
Well said, Commissioner Hall. There were a couple of things that I would like to address. First of all, and I had not heard this before, but apparently Representative Peterman had addressed this issue, and we've addressed it with him and with Senator Campbell. And there was something said earlier, I'm not sure I quite caught it, but something about the county writing legislation. The county doesn't write legislation. Our legislators do that. And we certainly try to have input on that. It was mentioned about the county asking for more authority. The county's been asking for more authority for 20 years that I know of. And the legislature has not granted that additional authority. So this just didn't start with this quarry that's being proposed for the intersection of 46 and 9. This started, and again, I know 20 years ago, maybe even before that, the county session more before the legislature asking for more authority, and it's not been granted. I can't give you the reason for that. I don't know why. But I think Commissioner Hawk made it very clear that I don't think anybody sitting up here on this court supports the quarry going in on that property, if for no other reason than we are losing our own country. But at the same time, as Commissioner Hawk said, we have certain laws that we have to work within. And there's this idea that Comal County can ask for a contested case hearing. And it was pointed out, and I will admit, I'm the one that said it. It was pointed out that someone said that a resolution, I'm not sure if I used the word worthless, but I said it's not the most effective back in our face. So, and I'm not naming names, and it's not anyone that's there now, but that has happened before, and that's why I question the effectiveness of the resolution versus going and sitting down with someone and talking to them about issues that we have here in Comal County. It was mentioned that Comal County is now the second fastest growing county in the nation. And those are 2017 numbers. They just came out today. That's a challenge for us. And that's what we have been telling the legislature for 20 years now. And again, no additional authority. So it's not like this court is just sitting on its hands, not doing anything. But we have requirements that we have to work within, or regulations that we have to work within, and we try the best we can to impact and preserve what we have here in Comal County within those limits that we have.
I have received a great many emails because this quarry is on the other side of the precinct line. It is located in Commissioner Hogg's precinct. And I really want to establish the fact, in case somebody doesn't know, that we've been advocating from the beginning in reference to this particular site, communicated concerns to TCEQ about it being in a residential area formally. Sent letters asking for hearings, citing concerns. We're all in this together. We love Comal County. I think that's, we're pretty county-centric. But I will have to say that Commissioner Hogg was very concise when he talked about the limitations that we have. We are constrained by law. We follow the rule of law. And on another issue, if we did not, then everybody would be upset. If we don't follow the law, it makes every citizen in Comal County vulnerable, because if we have to defend, then we're defending all of y'all where we've been outside the law. So I think that's a very, very, very important point. As Commissioner Hawk said, excuse me, this is TCQ that we're all very concerned about what actions they're going to take going forward. I can't emphasize enough, this is a state agency. Its regulations are handed to them from the state. We do not have any input as far as that. The commissioners of the TCQ are all appointed by Governor Abbott. I think I'm very comfortable in saying that we have had significant frustrations through the year. I know I have with some of the things, but it has to start with the state. The regulations that we want everybody to enforce and to abide by, the extra air monitors, the increased water vigilance, those things need to be given to TCEQ to do. And I do not disagree with that in any form or fashion. But we do not have the ability to tell them what they can and can't do as far as regulations are concerned. We're not a regulating body for them, and we're not a legislative body for them by any means. So, and I think I want to say that it is very troubling that we don't have any impact in a lot of areas. As the judge said, we have been asking for it for many years. I was actually invited testimony before. I remember going up to the State House and waiting from 7:30 to 11:30 at night in county affairs, 7:30 in the morning, to be able to talk about the conditions that we had here in Comal County and what we were experiencing because of the growth. So I would implore you to look to the people who can make significant changes, which are your legislators and the state.
I guess I would echo what Judge and fellow commissioners have said. Being overrun by growth in the way that we are is extremely frustrating. And it's a very frustrating part of our job. I think I can speak for everybody on that because the authority that we do have does come from the state. And unfortunately, in this situation, it feels like there's some misinformation that perhaps we're being thrown under the bus, that we're not doing, that we're not handling things appropriately. And the fact of the matter is that we don't have the tools in the toolbox to stop this. And we've been begging for help from the state. And I know I've been trying my hardest to educate citizens on that and what those differences are. And so yeah, this is one of the most frustrating parts of our job over here, is that, you know, we sit at this bench and we don't have the authority that most people perceive that we do have. And I feel the same way you guys do about this. It's heartbreaking to see this happen. And if we had it in our toolbox to be able to stop it, I'm sure that you would have the support for that.
You know, a couple of things about local control. We as a county have been notoriously conservative, especially in you know, the areas out, you know, towards the lake in western Comal County. And there's a lot of folks out there that have not wanted any local control and live there for that reason. It's an unincorporated area, and so when you start to, you know, want to have zoning and those kind of authorities out there, it's not just an open and shut case, and that's true in all the counties all across the state of Texas. We've been told that this is too little, too late. This is what we're capable of. This is what we believe we have the authority to do. So if it's too little, too late, or too little, I apologize, but it's what we feel like we have the authority to do in a resolution like this. We have a lot of quarries in precinct 3 and 2 and 4. I mean, I don't know. You're not fortunate enough to have some quarries in precinct 1.
Maybe small range type of things for their own use.
I mean, Commissioner Hogg, how far is your house from?
It doesn't have any difference in how close are they to it. That's my choice.
We all have live close to quarries. So it's something that's we have grown accustomed to here, and I understand that those quarries were there before I lived in my house, and that's a significant difference. And Commissioner Hogg, I want to thank you for your leadership on this. They've used my quote here about not passing a resolution for political purposes to get folks off our back. Clearly, we're not doing that because folks are dissatisfied completely with this. It's not about politics. It's about what we're capable of doing and what we feel like is right. And you have conducted yourself through this entire process with a ton of courage, and I really appreciate your work on this. What's the pleasure of the court?
Judge, I move to approve the resolution as presented on action agenda item number 4.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hogg, second by Commissioner Epperson to approve action agenda item number